Mr. Strom is it, if we talk about this new Horizon 2020, is it well tied with what is the subject of this conference, industrial technologies, and do we see some changes in comparison with the other programs about research and innovation of the past, the 6th and the 7th program framework?
Yes, there's a strong link to this conference because if you look to the structure of Horizon 2020, there are two pillars out of the three. One is explicitly linked to what we call industrial leadership, and although the second one I have in mind on societal challenges has a strong industrial component, as we have to tackle these societal challenges. And that means that we have refocused, in comparison to the old framework programs, the focus of the program, because we are all complaining as European citizens that we are not able to match the still very competitive research results with products. So we can't translate the research results into products, and this we have to change. And that is why we have introduced another element in comparison to the past, that we now can link financing from the research program and the European structural and investment funds in one project. By that we are increasing the leverage, we can do more, and of course here we also can, let's say, integrate industry much better, because to bridge the famous valley of death, we need to have pilot projects, demonstration projects, which are very costly and which can't be financed alone from the research funds. So we need to use the structural funds, and this is of particular importance for the weaker member states, because they have enough structural funds and where they can, let's say, contribute to this innovation chain, as we have modified also the regulation of the structural funds beyond that they can now combine financing, but also we have put a new focus on innovation and research within the structural funds. So we are trying to bring together different financing elements in view of having a stronger industrial impact.
One of the subtitles of this conference speaks about re-industrialization of Europe, but the figures, the numbers, for the moment, they show a continuing of industrialization of. What's happening on the field? And
well, structural change doesn't stop because we have now, let's say, started a new exercise. It will continue, of course, but we see that we have very good examples, like, for example, in the laser technology, where Europe is leading the industrial, let's say, sector. We need now to modernize our industries with key enabling technologies to be competitive in the future. And we see in some sectors that production is coming back to Europe because low labor costs is not the most decisive element today. Also, let's say, technological leadership is becoming more and more important, and that's why we should be optimistic that we are managing this change, even if, let's say, we see at the same time also job losses. But what is important to understand is that the jobs are created more and more in small and medium-sized enterprises, which are not as visible as big companies. If a big company is cutting 2,000 posts, it's in all newspapers. If 100 small companies engage 10 people each more, this is not reported at all. So the perception is sometimes a little bit different, because citizens don't know and can't follow what is going on in real terms. They mainly see just the negative examples.
So you think it's possible to combine the social and economic model we have in Europe, with a new industrialization of our market and our because let me give you an example. We saw a company in the electronic equipment in Italy asking the Italian workers to take the Polish salaries, otherwise it said we are going to move.
This is exactly the point. These companies are not, technologically speaking, leaders. So they go via the labor costs to stay competitive. But what we need as Europeans is we need to be at the top of the technological development. Key enabling technologies, we are discussing this here these days, are a very important component for that. So we need to be the market leaders in terms of technology to be able to pay our workforce the salaries they deserve and that they would like to have.
Also, another subject of this conference is about the smart specialization that can be done on a regional level. Maybe we're talking about also Balkans and Mediterranean. Is it true that we can find some new specialization in our...
Yes, I think if one analyzes the strengths of a region, you will always find that there are particular strengths. And the point is we need to together, so the region, the member state and the European level, we have to reinforce them. And for example, here in Greece, it's very interesting to see that you have many small and medium-sized enterprises active in nanotechnologies. So this is certainly an element where, from a personal perspective, I would say this is an element for a smart specialization strategy. And the Hellenistic Federation of Enterprises, has identified some, let's say, sectors where there are indeed strengths and research and innovation capacities. It is now important to take this up, to, let's say, reinforce this, inclusively with the help of the structural funds, to make them, let's say, competitive and even perhaps leaders. So I think if you look to food processing, there are a lot of let's say, sectors where this smart specialization strategy in a country like Greece can really have an impact.
But these new sectors can bring us the thousands, even millions of jobs that we need in Greece and in other countries.
Well, maybe not the millions in Greece, but let's say this can certainly bring new jobs. And that's why these companies need to be integrated in European and international value chains to be able to profit from that. Yes, it is possible, because if you have specific competence, you can easily participate in these value chains, and this has to be strengthened at regional level.